people is that it is important. Yes, it's true. It's true. I don't have to prove anything
answer
to you.
Answer question now.
What I want to say to you people
Senator,
is that
you have a right to answer the question. I'm just saying prove to me. Senator, you see, we are making arguments here.
I don't have
copious
to prove
logical
arguments. Why do I have to prove
so please
anything
prove to me, Senator, that there was so much insecurity. Defend your statement that there was so much insecurity. You said it before. Defend it.
Excuse me.
Yes, sir.
Listen. I don't have to prove anything to you. The position you people have taken is known to the entire country. But on national crisis in Rivers State, and the Supreme Court, which is the statutory arm of government, constitutionally responsible to look into the issues were submitted before them. And they looked into the issues and condemned it and said parties should go back and rectify. And parties actually went back to rectify. So now that parties had rectified, was there still an imminent danger? The answer is no. And then the idea of, oh, look, the people, there was a palpable tension in the state and all of that. If you look at the provisions of Section 188, subsection, in the case of Peter Obi and the Anambra State House of Assembly and Ladoja's case, that you cannot be both parties. Are we also saying that in Nigeria to be both parties? Are we also saying that in Nigeria today, so once you have a quarrel between, or misunderstanding between the House of Assembly and the executive arm of government, and then we should declare a state of emergency, Edo, for 4 years, a governor refused to swear in members of the...
Didn't Wike himself have 6 lawmakers at the point?
I don't even want to go there now. In Edo, the governor refused to swear in about 11 or 14 lawmakers. Yeah. The matter was submitted to the court, even though the court spent 4 years and it moved between 9 judges and it was never heard. A state of emergency was not declared in Edo. In fact, the roof of, while I'm not encouraging removal or destruction of a state house of assembly like Fubara did, which is condemnable, but a state of emergency was not declared. In the Northeast, as I speak, people are using ransom to do TikTok. Yeah. That is clear danger and threat to our national ransom to do TikTok. That is clear danger and threat to our national security and peace. Farmers cannot go to farm. These places, there is no state of emergency in these places. You have a peace. Farmers cannot go to farm. These places, there is no state of emergency in these places. You have 2 arm of government, 2 independent arm of government that are supposed to checkmate each other, are quarreling, and they have refused to sit down and resolve their issues. The court had helped them to resolve, and we are saying that is a ground for declaring a state of emergency. And so does that mean now that you have the president should declare a state of emergency?
Real quickly.
So how many areas are we going to declare state of emergency? Quickly, Rufai, please. On the issue of allocation, the Supreme Court ruled before now. The federal government approached the Supreme Court under Section 7 of the Constitution, requesting that the Supreme Court should make a pronouncement that under no guise can a state governor suspend a democratically elected local government chairman. And the Supreme Court so agreed with the APC and the federal government. That same federal government today is saying that they have powers to suspend a democratically elected governor and state house of assembly because the two cannot agree. Same court, the same highest court, government that is not democratically elected, and now you appointed a sole administrator, you are going to flout the constitution and release allocation. And so that means it is not about fighting insecurity. It's about taking Rivers State through the back door, and not about insecurity. Because if it's about insecurity, you take charge of the areas and find solution to the security challenges in those areas, and not take over the entire state.
Okay, real quickly, couple of things. I want clarification for public education. You know, I made mention of the fact that Minister Wike at some point when he was governor had 6 lawmakers. Can you throw more light as regards what happened around that time? Another question is, I think in the conversation here, somebody was saying that the Senate should remember that they are also, sort of like, a part of the government and everything. So I'm asking, Dr. Abati, based on the spirit of the law by Baron de Montesquieu, where is separation of powers here? Are we, or like Baron Montesquieu said, are we now practicing separation of power or fusion of powers? Because Baron Montesquieu talked about those 2 concepts in the spirit of laws that I read, separation of powers or fusion of powers. I want you to answer that. And for Mr. Magnus Abbey, Senator Magnus Abbey, the question I have for you is this. Please, can you show us with evidential proof the insecurity that is happening in Rivers State? Hope you know that the transnational pipeline that was blown up has started working again a day after. I hope you know the 2 other incidents of bombings around that area. NNPC has discarded some of them that say it was just a flare. So please, can you plot us the state of insecurity, the fighting and the killings that were happening on the road, in Rivers, in Port Harcourt, that warranted, and also the argument on those that support the government is always that